Well, that's been a few minutes cooking our bannock, so let's go and have a look and see how that worked out. The reason I call it this episode Sailor's Bannock is, well, we're on a sailboat. But lots of times the wind's blowing and you're looking for something hot, nourishing. Well, maybe not so nourishing, but hot and filling and comforting. You go for this bannock thing. The way I make it in terms of sailor's bannock, and I'm sure many campers do the same thing, they make it. It's just simple flour, salt, some baking powder, toss in some raisins and cinnamon, some water here, and away we go. So let's make some bannock. So I'm thinking about a couple of cups of bannock, and I like to make about 2 cups, and because the nice thing of it is you just toss it on a plate and let it sit there, and days later you can go and tear off a hunk and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. That was raisins, and some cinnamon, and bit of baking powder. You can see this. You don't have to be really fancy in making this stuff. And a pinch of salt. And that is about it. You should have your frying pan kind of warming up on a low heat. And because all you're going to do here with this kind of bannock is just plunk it into the frying pan and just let it cook slowly. And yeah, turn it over a couple of times. And if you like it kind of like crunchy or something on the other side or browned up nicely, then yeah, you just keep cooking it. It's pretty hard to ruin this stuff. So what I'm going to do here, before you put it in the frying pan, because there's some baking powder in here, it's going to rise a little bit, so you want it to rise a little bit. And in terms of what the dough looks like, it's just kind of like that. It looks like I don't know what some people would call it, but anyway. So that is it. That is it. And that just goes in the frying pan, and cook it at kind of like on a low heat, really low heat, and just toss it around a couple of times. If you're in a hurry, yeah, just turn up the heat and cook it, but it seems to be of a nicer texture if you cook it a bit more slowly. So we're going to give that about 3 minutes, and then we'll be back. Well, that's it, sitting in the frying pan, and we're going to just that's on a very low heat. And you know, if your frying pan is well seasoned, you don't even have to put any oil or grease and that kind of thing in the frying pan. But mine is well seasoned. I use it a lot. But if yours isn't, you know, you can go on the YouTube, and they have some great videos there about how to really make use out of your iron frying pans, and they are the best once you get used to using them. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Well, that's it. That is sailor's bannock, and as they say, it is delicious. You just add that into your coffee or your tea, or you're running before a storm or something, and you need something hot and quick to eat, and that's it.